thank you all for being here today on Memorial Day. At this time, we're going to post the colors. Please proceed with posting the colors.
Detail. Halt. Right. Face.
We'll now have the Star Spangled Banner sang by Terry Crane Goodman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much. That was beautiful. I'm Dan Gallagher. I'm the commander of the American Legion here in town. Tragically, last Saturday, the American Legion Ladies Auxiliary President Karen Woods passed away. In honor of her, we have this wreath. Karen was everything for Memorial Weekend, poppies. That was her thing every year. Unfortunately, she has left us, and say a prayer for her. I have also the Sons of the American Legion Commander with me, Patrick Boyce. I also have our chaplain, Rob McCann. We also have Dekalb new mayor, Cohen Barnes. We also have our new police chief, David Burke. And and our park board commissioner, Phil Young. We also have our keynote speaker will be Michael Embry. At this time, would you like to make a few comments, Chief Bird? Throw you under the bus.
That's all right. Well, of course, good morning, everyone. As we come today on Memorial Day, I would just like to say, as far as our veterans who have given the ultimate sacrifice, that their heads are bloody but unbound. I didn't have to prepare a speech, but I did want to say this, that the freedoms that we all cherish today and were born on the sacrifices of our military veterans who gave the ultimate sacrifice. And I think we have to make sure that we take today and honor them as we are doing today, but we should do it every day because their sacrifice is eternal and their families are still mourning and honoring their death. So thank you for the moment to speak, sir, and I appreciate everyone coming today. Thank you.
DeKalb Mayor Cohen Barnes.
Morning, everyone. Thank you for coming out this morning, this Memorial Day 2021, to remember and to honor those that have fallen in service to our country, lest we forget. We join people across the great nation today that have come together, as we here in DeKalb, to remember and to honor over 1 million American men and women that have given the ultimate sacrifice. They did so in defense of our freedom and our way of life, and the freedom and way of life of those around the world. These brave men and women did so in sacrifice to something greater than themselves. Realize they didn't ask to be called home to serve on some battlefield somewhere in the world. Many of them didn't volunteer. They didn't go because they loved to fight. They did so because their country called them to. And when called, they rose and they came. That single act, that unifying moment, is why I will always be grateful to all our men and women that have served and responded to their country's call. That very act of patriotism causes my heart to continue to swell. And for those that lost their lives in service to their country, I will always honor them today, like we all will, and every day. Service to your country is close to my heart. In my family, we have a long history of military service. From my great-grandfather's unit going after Pancho Villa to my grandfathers who both served in World War II. One a Marine serving in the Pacific in the 2nd Marine Division, and the other in the U.S. Army, serving in campaigns all over Europe. To my uncles that served in Vietnam, to myself that served in Operation Desert Storm, to my son who recently returned from Afghanistan, serving in combat as a U.S. Army infantryman. But my family story is similar to many of the family stories I know of you in attendance today. For even today, more Americans continue to choose to serve, generation after generation, even though, even today, we continue to lose more on the battlefield. The pride I have in my family's service carries over to the pride I have in the community that I love. For there are many reasons why I love DeKalb, but as it pertains today, I do want to honor our town's history, from our namesake, Baron von DeKalb, who served alongside the Continental Army, to our contribution and participation in the war effort, visible at Memorial Park, with Donna the Tank on display, to recent history. Former Mayor Jerry Smith was a veteran himself and an advocate for veterans during his time as mayor. If you drive downtown, you will see our veterans banners up and down the side streets and all through Locust Street. You'll see parking spaces dedicated to veterans. You'll see flagpoles on First and Locust that have been erected. And the Boy Scout Troop 33 will be all around town putting up American flags. Mayor Smith was committed to making DeKalb the most veteran-friendly city in Illinois, and I will continue the march in my role as mayor as well. So today, as we gather with friends and family to enjoy time with each other, as we fire up our grills, break out the games, and prepare for a day of fun and relaxation in DeKalb, I encourage every one of you to take a moment to pause, to look around, to let the moment sink in, and realize we can enjoy this day with friends and family. We can celebrate the coming of summer. We can do this because those we remember today, for their sacrifice, has protected our freedom to do just that. We must always remember that America is home of the free because of the brave. Thank you, everyone.
At this time, I'd like to have our DeKalb Park Board Commissioner Phil Young come up.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the DeKalb Park District Board of Commissioners, I want to welcome everyone here today. And I wanted to especially thank our military that are here today and those that have served in the past. We thank you for your service to our country. And I also wanted to thank the different agencies that are here that have helped to create this day, the City of DeKalb, Fund Me Events, Brian Rios, who's the director of the Ellwood House Museum, and our Park District maintenance staff that every year prepare this place and do a fantastic job. And I also want to recognize our Executive Director, John Shea. But most of all, I want to thank all of our soldiers that are not here today because of their sacrifice in the defense of this great nation. Today is not a day of celebration. It is a day of remembrance. While parades and barbecues are activities that we're often associated with this day, it is truly only about one thing. It is about the self-sacrifice and ultimate sacrifice that our soldiers have given to die in the defense of this nation. This act of remembrance is not a temporary thing. It involves serious reflection not only on the tragedy and cost of lives cut short on the battlefields, but also on the high stakes for which generations of Americans have fought and died. As long as we remember our friends and loved ones that sacrificed their lives for our liberties, will their death never be in vain. We can forever immortalize them by not only acknowledging them today, but also by understanding that our freedoms here today, right now, are only here in large part because of them. To honor them is within our ability as a free nation to live our lives to the best potential, to try to work things out, communicate, express our passions, and do things to help not only ourselves and our families, but also those who cannot help themselves and those who are often forgotten. For those who are not here today, war, engagement, victory or defeat matters not. To our fallen heroes, it does not matter, for they now are at rest. And in that quiet solemnness, may they have a place in our heart that is forever eternal. We have a continued debt that can never be repaid, that debt we owe to our fallen soldiers. How we live our lives can honor them. Most of all, we must never forget them, nor forsake them, for their sacrifice has no bounds. May God continue to bless our fallen heroes and this great nation that we live in. Thank you.
We now have our chaplain, McCann, come and give us our prayer.
Thank you, Commander. Gentlemen, please uncover. Heavenly Father, on this Memorial Day, we remember and give thanks for those who have given their lives in service of our country. Lord, help us to honor their memory by caring for the family members they've left behind, by ensuring that their wounded comrades are properly cared for, and by demanding that no other young men and women follow them to a soldier's grave unless the reason is worthy and the cause just. Though their names may fade with the passing of generations, may we never forget what they have done. Lord, help us to become worthy of their sacrifice. Amen.
In picking our keynote speaker this year, we decided on Michael Embry. Michael Embry came into our lives a few years ago, and I wished I would have met him many, many years ago. He does taps at all of our military funerals. If you need to have something organized like this, you have Mike take care of it. And at this time, would you please give your keynote speech?
Thank you, Commander Gallagher. And without Commander Gallagher, our Legion would not be able to do the things to do. So let's give Commander Gallagher a nice round of applause. Thank you, Commander. Memorial Day. Growing up as a small town in southern Missouri, I really didn't have an idea what honoring veterans was all about. My father, a World War II veteran, like most World War II veterans, did not talk about the service. So we really didn't know much about veterans, what happens, Memorial Day. In fact, Memorial Day didn't happen until 50 years ago when it was created as a 3-day holiday. But I can remember when I was 13 years old being called to the principal's office. Now that in itself was not unusual. But this time I arrived at the principal's office and there was a man in uniform. And I said to myself, oh, I'm way too young to go in the service. And the principal said, Michael, I'd like to introduce you to Commander Taylor. He's the commander of the local American Legion. Commander Taylor said, I understand you're a trumpet player. And I said, yes, sir. He says, can you play taps? Well, trying to be more than I really was, I said, well, sure, anybody can play taps. And then he said, Well, we're losing a lot of World War I veterans, and we're looking for a bugler to play taps. And would you do that for us? And I'm thinking to myself, well, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun. And then the principal said, well, Michael, if you will do this, the American Legion will give you $2 and I'll give you the day off of school. I said, sign me up. Well, I shouldn't have never used that phrase because several years later I did sign up and I spent 4 years with the Air Force. But Memorial Day honors the men and women who have died. This is a day that we honor these people who gave their time in the military service, and particularly those who have died in battle and never returned home. And also those veterans who came home and returned to civilian life and passed away and was given a full military honor with a military funeral. We spend time remembering these people. They lost their lives, they never came home, reflecting on their service and why we have the luxury and freedom that we have today. And we talk about veterans and passing away, but it's more than that. It's not us here celebrating. It's that mom who will never see that son or daughter again. It's that father who was always fairly staunch, who hid away and cried a little bit that he would never play baseball with his son again. It's about the wife who says our children will never see their dad as they graduate from school, go to college, get married. Last year during the pandemic, people said, how sad that the high school students won't have prom, won't have a class trip. Well, when I graduated, many of my classmates, their class trip was to Vietnam, and many of them never came back. So with our constant barrage of Memorial Day weekend discounts on cars and furniture and ads, it's easy for many Americans to forget what Memorial Day is really all about. It's nice to have that barbecue. It's nice to have that 3 days. But simply put, it's time to honor, to remember, and to reflect. Yes, we're going to be firing up those grills and doing things around the house, but we need to take time to reflect and think about what Memorial Day is all about. It is a day of remembrance to honor those brave individuals who fought for our freedom. While Memorial Day kicks off the holiday season, the summer season, it's a day to reflect significance of patriotism, freedom, and justice. The holiday is not purely served to make us aware of what's going on. It's a reflection of what has passed and to honor that past. And when you're taking in the sun or when you're out having that picnics later on today, take time to reflect, take time to honor. And even when you have that Coors Light, toast a veteran. Sadly, many of our children will never know the history, and a lot of our history has been written out of our books. We have forgotten to remember. We have forgotten to remember the veterans of all the conflicts, all the wars, the 16 million Americans that served during World War II. Families don't sit around and talk about Sergeant Alvin York, World War I veteran, a country boy that had never left his state, served on the battlefields of France and Germany. He received the Honor of Freedom and the Medal of Honor for his work. No one remembers Captain Audie Murphy, World War II veteran, the most highly decorated veteran from World War II. But more importantly, history books don't tell about the real loss of life. The 7,000 Marines at Iwo Jima that died within 3 days, taking that island. The 9,000 men and women who landed at D-Day that died. The most touching ceremony I've ever done as a bugler, I was invited to Normandy, France to play taps at the American Cemetery. And as you stand on that podium and you overlook 10,000 graves, you say to yourself, these people sacrificed their life for our freedom. To me, all veterans are heroes, although many of us don't admit we're a hero. They've served our country and they fought for our country. Words like integrity, service, courage, duty, honor, commitment, country, and sacrifice. When asked why veterans are special, I tell people veterans are the backbone of our country. Without these veterans, without these service members, there would be no United States of America. There would be no life. There would be no freedom. There would be no liberty. There would be no pursuit of happiness, as Mayor Cohen said. Who are these veterans? It is a veteran, not the preacher, who has given us the freedom of religion. It's the veteran, not the reporter, who has given us the freedom of the press. It's the veteran, not the campus organizer, that has given us the freedom to assemble. It's the veteran, not the poet, who has given us the right of free speech. It's the veteran, not the professional athlete, that stands for the national anthem and salutes the flag. It is the veteran that salutes that grand old flag, who has served under the stars and stripes, and whose coffin will be draped by American flag when he passes. So let's celebrate Memorial Day and honor our veterans. God bless America, for which it stands. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to introduce, we have special entertainment. Usually, Dekalb High School Band and Choir performs for us, and because of COVID, they weren't able to do it this year. So we've invited a special guest artist who is an Army veteran, 4 years in the Army, served in the Vietnam era. And please put your hands together for Mr. Ron Laughlin. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Sing along, I'm sure you know the words. Oh, beautiful, for spacious sky, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, for heroes in liberating strife, who more than self their country love, and mercy more than life. Crowned thy good with brotherhood.
This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Saying this land was made for you and me. Oh, this land was made for you and me.
Thanks, everybody. I'd like to have Terry and Michael do the military fight songs with me.
Thanks, Ron, and thank you for your wonderful rendition. I'm glad people sing along. Before I go any further, one person I've yet to thank, and we didn't really, Scott Zach from the city of Dekalb, who put all this together along with the Park District. I want to give Scott a nice round of applause. Scott, thank you very much for what you've done. This time we'd like to celebrate all the branches of the military. If you can, please stand and sing along as we sing your fight song. And for you Navy guys, know Row, Row, Row Your Boat is not the Navy song. Okay, I want to let you know that up front. So if you're from the Army, please stand. Please stand. Ron, take it away.
First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the Army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the Army goes rolling along. Then it's hi, hi, hey, the Army's on its way. Count off the cadence loud and strong. For wherever we go, you will always know that the Army goes rolling along.
Give them a nice round of applause. United States Marines. Marines, please stand. Ron for the Marines.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines.
Nice round of applause. Our Navy veterans, if you're in the Navy, please stand and we can recognize you. Ron.
Anchors aweigh, my boys, anchors aweigh. Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day, 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 through our last night on shore, drink to the foam, until we meet once more. Here's wishing you a happy voyage home.
Thank you. Now, United States Air Force. If you could stand, please, if you served in the Air Force. Ron, take it away.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder, and our boys give her the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flame from under. Off with one terrible roar. We live in fame, or go down in flame. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
Thank you. So are there any Coast Guard in the audience? We usually don't have Coast Guards. We don't sing. Nobody knows the words anyway. We just hum along. As we've done this before, we let people know our Coast Guard members are out patrolling the Kishwaukee River, making sure it's safe and those people from Sycamore never get over here. So that's really important. Commander Gallagher.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to give the American Legion School Awards out. All across America, 8th graders, a boy and a girl, were both picked for this distinguished award from their peers. From St. Mary's, we have Kiera Dunham. And from St. Mary's, we also have Nathan Tumarino. And here they come. From Dekalb High School, we have Francis Zalick. And also Madeline Barnes, no relation to Cohen Barnes. This Certificate of Distinguished Achievement is awarded to you two students in recognition of attainment acquired as winner of the American Legion School Award. The further recognition of the possession of those high qualities of courage, honor, leadership, patriotism, scholarship, and service which are necessary to the preservation and protection of the fundamental institutions of our government and the advancement of society. This is awarded to you from me, Dan Gallagher of the American Legion. We will now have the American Legion Honor Guard detail with the commander of the day, Michael Giuliano, will now take over. Do we not do them?
Riflemen, ready. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Order. Fire.
Retrieval of colors.
Hold. Right. Face. Forward. March.
That concludes our ceremony today. I thank you all. And remember a veteran today. You're all welcome to come down to the American Legion for burgers and hot dogs if you wish, and also for the installation of our new post commander, Manny, and our new post chaplain, Michael Giuliano. At this time, thank you all.
Together.